everybody. I am just getting started here, so thank goodness this thing worked this time. Um, just kind of saging the room. Sorry if you see all the smoke. How are you guys? Hope you're all doing pretty well. I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to come into the room. Let us see. All right. So the plan tonight is that even though I have done a reading for the 1221 portal for the winter solstice, I wanted to get some new cards and energies for that, plus the full moon in Cancer, which is happening tomorrow morning. And Cancer is my sign, but it's also the sign of the home. It's a sign of the mother. It's a very watery, naturally emotional sign. So a lot of things having to do with relationships and emotions seem to be coming up. So we're going to find out more about that. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me okay? If it is coming through okay, that would be awesome. Just shoot me a quick message. Because this is only, hey, hi, Jody, how are you? Hey, Anna, so glad you could make it. Okay, good. I'm going to guess that it's coming through okay then. So I've written a few questions. I did a live earlier today on Instagram as well. And so I want to try to not repeat everything that I already did earlier. So hopefully some new questions. And then we'll have a couple options after that. I'd love to pull personal cards for people, which I will do. And we can also, if you want, do a meditation, pulling our higher selves into our bodies so that we're operating from the higher self, if you want to do that. Or we can just continue with card pulls, which is totally fine with me because I love my cards. So, okay, let me get started. Just a few things I want to bring up. First of all, this may resonate with you. It probably will if you have come across this or are following me. If it doesn't, it's totally okay. There were like questions on my video posted on the Higher Self page. Thank you, by the way, to the Higher Self channel for featuring my videos. I really appreciate that. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're getting different things, totally fine. Basically, there are so many people that watch live streams, that watch videos. The way the cards work is they kind of pull out the major energies that most people are going to resonate with. Like, at least that's my sort of point of view on how this works. So if it's not hitting something for you, don't try to make it fit. It's all right. It's totally fine. Another reading might resonate with you more. Okay. Okay. So let's see, which deck do I want to use? I'm actually being pulled to the Tarot Apocalypsis again, even though I've been using the other one all day. I think I'm going to go with this one right now. And so my first question, I wrote them down, that's why I keep turning my head, is what are the major energies coming through for the collective relating to the full moon and the winter solstice right now? So let's get the major energies, because my feeling is that this is kind of a time that is different from other times. Like, we might not have seen energies like this in our lifetimes. And I'm only going to report to you what either my guides say or the cards are showing, but I know that a lot of people have talked about this energy. And so I'm not going to repeat what they say. I'm only going to share with you what I'm getting. But I am going to say that one of the things I have heard that is that this is a very unique energy. And I've heard that both from my guides and heard that on from other readers and things like that. So that's kind of exciting. Let's see what my guidance has to say. And what are the major energies coming through for the collective relating to the full moon and the winter solstice of this year? What are the major energies coming through? What are the major energies coming through? Woo! Okay. few more cards here. Yeah, I agree, Jody. It feels really, really different. I've actually been feeling really great, and then today I had a little bit of a setback, like physically. I wasn't feeling as good as I had been, but emotionally and like energetically, it's like crazy. It's awesome. These came out, this fell out. Let's just see what's here. Wow, okay. So I feel like there's this sense we've got the strength with the Ace of Cups, and I'm kind of getting the feeling that there is this like, okay, this is not something I ordinarily get, but I'm going to say it because it's coming through right now. But I feel like there is this battle going on with light and dark a little bit, and that unconditional love is really coming through and and winning at this point. Like it is the strength of unconditional love is meeting this like I'm seeing going over the tipping point so that there's like kind of no going back from there. So as a collective, there are all these different levels to that, whether that means that like, you know, in our own like individual souls and spirits and physical bodies that we're becoming more balanced and we're really understanding what self-love is. Or if it is like um, or if it's really like the entire collective is kind of tipping everyone toward unconditional love, and we're bringing more people out into their awakening processes because they're being tipped by the unconditional love of the collective. Or it's an even greater an even larger sort of thing that's going on um, where there's actually sort of a spiritual war that's happening, and the unconditional love is tipping them. It's like we've passed the tipping point is what I'm trying to say. And there's really no going back. The strength of unconditional love is winning, and there's no more fear of the sort of I guess the interference. This to me right now is interference. And I feel there's no more fear of the interference of any sort of dark energies. They may still attempt, but they can't really get a foothold. That they're going through a judgment period at this time, and they have already really lost the battle. Now that sounds super weird and like biblical to me. That's not usually the tone I take, but that's just what came out tonight. So I hope that that makes sense to some of you. um, I don't mean it to sound biblical. It's very like we as light workers are the ones tipping the balance toward the light, right? And those who are not um, resonating with the light are really kind of losing their foothold. They're losing their footing in the physical world. And that is the importance of light workers. It's the importance of divine complements or twin flames, if you want to talk about that. Um, because we are the ones that are pushing that energy forward. We're the ones anchoring it into the physical plane, and also anchoring it into the higher dimensions as well, because we have the connection, we have the roots in the physical, as well as the energetic connections that go all the way up to the creator, um, whatever dimension that may be in. So the healing energies that I use are rooted in the 18th dimension, which to me is where the creator is. I don't really know anything like about that necessarily. I'm sure there are plenty of people who have written books on it and know about it. This is just what I have channeled through, so that is how I can explain it to you. So I feel that because we are so connected all the way above and all the way below, that we are in a special position um, to help create this movement toward unconditional love. And the fact that it is already happening and has tipped past that point of no return is really amazing. And that point, I feel, is this solstice here. And the fact that the full moon, the culmination of that cycle, is showing up in the sign of the mother and the home and the family and unconditional love is really amazing, and that bodes well for all the work that we're doing. Um, I'm just really feeling this incredible, overwhelming feeling in my heart chakra of a universal acceptance. It's a universal acceptance. And that could just be the same energy that's coming through with the Ace of Cups here. But it's like a battle cry, is what I just heard, the word battle cry. So um, I just really feel that this is a very fated time, and these are fated events for all of us who are doing this work. Um, okay, I think that's what I'm getting from this. So let me get a few more cards about see, about major energies coming through for the collective through the solstice and the full moon in Cancer tomorrow. Creator, if there are more cards for the energies coming through for the collective, that would be very helpful, please. Just see what comes out here. Hey, Flex, how are you? Thanks for coming back. Woo, here's one. And this wanted to come out. Okay. All right, so yeah, so this is a lot of the energy I've been seeing already. And so we have the King of Pentacles here, all right? And this to me really mirrors the Strength card. I feel like they're very similar. And actually, I think this is Shakti and Shiva. I think they're a pair. They are a divine complement pair. So that's an additional message for somebody coming through, Shakti and Shiva. So I have the King of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands and the Princess of Swords. And I feel that there is a real, so things are moving really quickly right now. The Eight of Wands keeps coming through. And this is just really, I'm almost feeling the sun's rays beating down on the earth. So if there's anything going on with the sun right now, I feel that the sun is sending some kind of like plasma rays or some kind of rays that are beating into the earth, into the physical earth, and it is causing it's causing an uproar of energy on the earth, which is having again, here's Shiva. So it's actually having the effect of like breaking away and breaking down things that are no longer serving us, things that aren't working. The things that are related to this sort of judgment of the lower energies, like that's all being broken away now by the energy that's coming, I'm hearing coming through the sun. And so what that means, I'm not really sure, but obviously here's the sun and here are the arrows going through it. And that's a renewal. This is the King of Pentacles, but I almost feel like it's the Death card in a way, because it's the renewal through the destruction of the things that are not working for us. To me, this is primarily energetically. I don't want anybody to panic that things are like gonna like be taken away from them or something. Even though we are talking about the physical world, I feel like we're talking about Gaia, the earth, at this time, that these energies are pounding the earth. And I almost feel like this is a call to action. This is the Princess of Swords, which can mean a lot of different things, but through her and the way she's pointing out, and she looks like she's about to take action with that sword, I feel like this is a call to action for everyone on their path. That like this again is that gateway onto your soul's mission, And um, that this is like, if you're a light worker, you can no longer deny what it is that you're doing here, right? Here's the strength and um the battle of the battle of love, kind of the battle of good versus those energies that are not so good. For some reason, I shy away from saying good versus evil. There's something like super, I don't know, biblical about that. But so it's kind of like the positive versus the negative, the light versus the dark, and the light is throwing cards everywhere, and the light has tipped the balance so that it's, there's no going back to the dark. And this is your call to be in your truth, to stand in your truth, and to take no more crap. We've been talking about that too, about what it's like to stand in your truth and know who you are, and to carry on your soul's mission fearlessly. This is a Viking goddess. I can't remember which one it is. I love this picture though, and I just love that she points at you. Like, this is about you. This is for you. There's no hiding from this, and there's also no being like forgotten or overlooked. Like, there are two sides to this. Oh, Flex says things that are no longer serving me are being dissolved, and that's really the energy that I'm getting here. Is that like this is sort of like this energy of swift movement coming through. The sun is beating down on the earth, and here's Shiva disassembling that whole mess. Okay, let's see. I just want to see if there are any more messages that come out for that. So any more, anything else coming through, any other energies coming through for the collective related to the solstice and the full moon in Cancer? Any other energies coming through, please? What else do we need to know? Okay. Anything else, please? All right. This is going to sound really lame, but this to me, when it came out, I just heard magical portal. And so I feel like there is a degree of magic, of like um, sacred magic that happens as we go through this portal here. Like the Four of Wands, I mean, it means a lot of different things. It means stability. It means to me, it means joy. It can also be a card of wedding, of union of twin flames. It can be a lot of different things. But for me, um, again, with the sun breaking through, almost like it is highlighting. It's like, isn't there like an Indiana Jones movie where the sun like breaks through some ancient um, like temple or something, and it like comes to rest on this deity or some important Mayan. I don't even know what it is. It's been so long, but that's the feeling I get, that it's like, coming to rest on this important moment, this important portal where we're stepping through a magical portal of transition. And let me just look at this again. It's almost like our ability to be this light worker, to accept our mission, is just like exponentially explodes. And I feel some truth to that, honestly. I felt like I was a little off earlier, but like tonight, I'm just like, I had a client right before this, and I just feel like I am on fire. And here's the fire right in here. It's like we're being gifted this additional energy, this like strong, almost magical ability to uplift the planet and all of humanity. And I don't want to get too super esoteric here, because I don't want people who might just be stepping into like, be like, all right, this one's a wackadoodle. And I want everybody to really be able to grab onto what I'm saying in their personal lives, like in their real lives. And this to me is like whatever it is that you do that is so important and that is like your mission in this world, the way that you affect humanity, the way that you affect the world, you're getting supercharged with that right now. Your whatever it is that your like power or ability is getting supercharged. That's how I feel. Um, and it's all based, and I just think it's so significant that like one of the first cards, if not, no, it was the second card that came out. Strength was first. This was the second card that came out, in that it's unconditional love, and it's all based in our balance here, right? Our ability to have balanced, and our power comes from our balance in that unconditional love. And for so many people who are in twin flame or divine counterpart or complement type relationships, I feel that the coming together creates this powerful energy that allows so this explosive like um, transformational energy to start coming into the world, right? So I think that many people may be experiencing, now this is bigger than your quote unquote relationship, right? It's not a relationship. It's like a calling. And I think anybody who's going through that probably knows that, but this is so much bigger than a relationship. And so like I don't want to get stuck on like, who's going to be together? Will you be able to be together in the physical? And that's totally a legitimate question. But here, this is so much bigger than that. This is like your energies melding and being able to create this explosive, powerful energy um, outside of that, whether or not you're even in the same country or whatever. So I'm not saying that anybody is not going to be together or that they are or whatever. Maybe some of you already are. It's really neither here nor there. This is just that alchemy of like individuals coming together. I'm also feeling like this doesn't only talk about those relationships, that there are all kinds of different relationships that we may be unaware of or may not be labeled, that are creating this sort of extra energy right now. And I'm feeling that there are entire groups of people who are coming together, creating this explosive energy, okay? And this is really changing the planet as we know it. Um, it's I'm hearing something about ritual. It's like rituals may be very important. I mean, it is the solstice, and we each have our own kinds of rituals for that. Mine are not like super, I don't know, prescribed or tight or anything like that. Some people do serious rituals, like they might be Wiccan or whatever, and they have like prescribed rituals that they love to do. Um, Mine are usually based in gratitude. And that's the other thing I wanted to say to you is like, I feel that right now, um, a very powerful thing to do tonight would be to offer up your gratitude to the universe for everything that you have, that in doing that, you're creating a powerful manifestation energy within your own energy, your paired energy, and your group energy. Okay. So we want to make that powerful manifestation energy and or powerful gratitude offering, and be manifesting more in your life at this time. And it is coming in, whatever it is that you're manifesting is coming in very fast, and it's coming in with stability and joy, and like really with a profound sense of stability. Okay. All right, moving on. What are the major releases? What are the major releases we're experiencing? Okay, let's see. What do I do with my cards? Oh, there they are. What are the major releases we're experiencing right now? What can we expect to be releasing? Oh my gosh, so many cards came out. Um, okay. I. f- All right. These two I feel go together. We're going to be releasing these burdens, these things that we're holding on to that are really related to the physical world and are not necessary anymore in favor of real truth. Like, what is it that is really important to you right now? What is it that is really true for you right now? I feel like a lot of us are holding on, can hold on to things that are like not even true. And I say that because I had a conversation with one of my friends earlier today, and she had this idea that she um, was a bad mom if she, I hope she doesn't, I'm not saying her name, so I guess she probably won't care if I share this, but like she was a bad mom if she was unable to breastfeed her child, right? If she had to use like formula. And I was like, why even? Why does that have anything to do with it? Is that even true? And she's like, you know what? It's not. Like, what does that even have to do with anything? And it's like we hold on to these ideas of what it is to be human, what it is to be a man or a woman, what it is to be a good partner, what it is to be a good, I am notorious for being like, what it is to be a good leader. And I want to be a good leader. And yet my truth of what that is was skewed for a long time. And so we're letting go of these things that are not in our truth, right? We're understanding what our truth is and getting clarity. And it's all going back to that unconditional love. We need to be loving to ourselves as well as everyone else. And that is where your truth is going to be residing. I also feel like, in in the same vein, we're releasing all of these ideas. So we have the 10 of Pentacles with the 10 of Wands here. And from these two cards, what I'm getting is that like there are these societal expectations that are burdens. They're overburdening and they don't have anything to do with anything. Um, the biggest one that's coming up in my head right now are like people who are holding on to abusive marriages, really, because they feel like divorce is wrong. They don't want to disappoint their family. They don't want to disappoint their children or somehow ruin their children's lives by splitting up the family when, like, of course, parents fighting nonstop is, of course, terrible for children. I can tell you that much. Um, and I feel like there are these like normally I see the 10 of Pentacles as a very positive card, but here it feels so much like the expectations that are put on us by society and the need to release those and surrender to knowing what our own personal truth is, not what society says we need to be doing. All right. So this is really, again, what we're surrendering is our burdens, and it's the burdens of what we've been taught that isn't necessarily based in truth. Need water. Okay. Um, finally, all right. I don't know why I'm hearing this for these two cards, but I'm looking at the Princess of Wands with the star. And when I am thinking about things that need to be released or we are releasing right now, I'm really hearing that we need to release our need or ability, our desire to control the outcome of a situation. That that's the last bit of surrendering that we really need to do right now, because what's waiting for us is this incredible energy that's already coming in. It's already ours. There's no need to like dig your claws in and try to control the outcome or try to control the speed at which you evolve or the speed at which you heal. Everything is exactly as it should be at this time. Um, we need to surrender and release our need to be in charge of that, because we're not in charge of any of this. It's the divine that's in charge of this, right? It's our angels and guides and really the divine that has put all of this in motion. And we're just willing participants, with a bit of amnesia because we, may not remember making this deal before we came into this life to do this work, right? But we need to release it to the divine and hear the messages as they come in. Okay, so release control to the divine, hear the messages, and follow the messages as they come in, and that is how we will make it to the truth of our situation and truly onto our path, right? So if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, if you're not sure, then it's so important to release your need to know to the divine and start to listen, because that's when you will really get your answers, your clarity. Okay. Flex says, I've been put in a position to where all I can do is surrender to take the next step in my path. And that is the message and really the key to everything we're learning here is surrender and surrendering to the divine. And it feels so unnatural at first, but really it's the most natural thing in the world. I mean, if you look at somebody, just from my experience, I'm somebody who has built businesses, and I have, controlled my destiny to a T up to this point. And learning to surrender that was just such an intense situation. I mean, it was very difficult because I was used to being in that masculine energy. And another thing that's just come up is this star card is the Our Lady Star of the Sea. To me, Our Lady, the Blessed Mother, Our Lady, is a huge symbol of the divine feminine, and the surrendering is our integration of the divine feminine into our own existence and into our bodies. Obviously, every single one of us has both masculine and feminine energies, which I've talked about many times before. Um, and it's the balancing of these that we are really coming into now. And of course, those of us who are holding the feminine energy are going to have a little more of that. But it's sort of the return of the divine feminine. That's what I'm hearing right now, the return of the divine feminine. And so I feel that all of us are going to have to step out of our not out of our masculine selves, but really into balance. And that is reigniting our passion for the divine feminine and allowing that in our lives. The surrender, the allowing, the listening, and the receiving. Okay. So that is so important. Remember that. I'm just hearing like 2019 is the year of the divine feminine. So we need to allow and listen and surrender to the divine purpose and the divine will. Okay. What's the result of this release that we were just talking about? What's the result? Actually, I'm going to grab a new deck for that because why not? What's the result of this release that we're talking about? Get a couple more cards. Woo, hi. Okay. All right. So the first thing that came out was this Five of Swords card. And I feel like we're talking about what's the result of the release. And I feel that, for me, this card frequently refers to the ego. I don't feel like the ego is always a bad thing. I just had this experience of integrating pieces of myself, like the part of me that kept the soft, sweet inner child of mine safe so many years was this protective ego, right? And it was like accepting and integrating that made helped to balance me out and helped to make me whole. And I feel that, what's the result of this release? Well, that result is the reintegration of all the parts of oneself, the light with the dark, and accepting and loving all of them. Like, to me, that is the key to, where's my Ace of Cups? whatever, you don't need to see the card again. You know what I'm talking about. That's the key to the Ace of Cups is the unconditional love, the acceptance of oneself with one's ego. We are pushing it out of the way because, so often ego equals fear. Fear is an illusion, and that will block you from your ascension at times. But it is still part of you, and anything that you shove down and deny will always keep rearing its head. And so, really, the key is to accept it and love it, and then it will go away and be quiet and go to sleep and stop trying to rear its head in every single situation, because it will then know that its job is done, that you're safe, that you have your balance, you're following your guidance, you no longer need its assistance. Okay, if that makes any sense. um Next, so a whole bunch of cards came out together, and we have the star coming up again with the King of Swords. And sorry, the rescue dogs. Rescue dog is barking downstairs. And we also have the Princess of Wands again. Just looking at all these, 5 of them came out together. So this is again mastery, I feel like, of your healing process, and the acceptance of um, divine communication, and the understanding that this brings true balance into your life, and the communication that you're receiving now is leading the way. This is leading the way. And so um, this is a level of healing that we have not yet experienced, where we're actually bringing our higher selves in and following that closely. Okay, we have been talking about this for a while, but I think that this is taking place at a greater rate and at a higher level at this time, because because of the energies involved, right? And I think that we're all feeling it too, like that feeling of um, being energized, being aligned, that feeling of being aligned. That's exactly it. That is the divine will mixed with your higher self, guiding you forward into your path and into your soul's mission. Um, we also have the lovers coming up with the Ace of Pentacles. And so while I often like to divert people into feeling like into talking about the lovers as a choice, I really do feel like this is a new beginning in the balance of the masculine and feminine, whether that's within you, within a divine partnership, um, or in society. Like I said, this is the divine feminine coming back into our collective consciousness, because it is bringing us this gift of healing that we've not experienced as a collective for a very long time. Um, Flex says we have to alchemize the ego with the higher self. Yes, you do, and it's really in that healing of it and the accepting of it and the allowing it to melt back in. For me, it's like the the melting in of the shadow self or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like allowing it to melt back in, that calms it and that causes that kind of balance and healing. You can't shove it down. That's like shoving down your anger, shoving down your feelings, shoving down your fear. That's going to do nothing but make sure that it keeps coming up at the most inopportune times. Um, and true balance is accepting it and loving it for what it is and allowing it to integrate with your higher self or the rest of you, with your light versus your dark, right? um so again, this is another form of balance, the masculine with the feminine and the new beginning. with that in the physical world. And so some people are going to be experiencing forward movement in divine complement type relationships, whatever that may be. And it might even be groups that have come, like I said, the groups that have come together based upon an energetic resonance. But all this stuff, it's like it's lining up right now at this portal for a very important, purpose. They're just looking at this card. Some individuals may still be experiencing parts of their lives, falling away, things that are being removed from their lives. If you see, this is like Adam and Eve, and Adam's tree is on freaking fire. So, the masculine part of ourselves may either be experiencing a lot of things falling away right now, or they may be experiencing um, really passionate movement forward. And the feminine side is there's lush growth there. So the feminine individuals, or the feminine halves of ourselves, might be experiencing a rebirth at this time, um, a sort of fertility of mind and emotion at this time. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting for that, but it's all coming. um, there's this is the new beginning, but I also get that it is like serendipity. I'm hearing serendipity. So something serendipitous is coming about, related to this relationship, or this kind of this group or this relationship. I'm not getting it as a choice this time. I'm getting it as an actual group or individual, um, that is important to your path forward. Okay. Okay. So I'm kind of curious, like, I'm going to ask the cards, and this is the last question I have, and then I'm going to start taking personal, questions. Um, I'm curious about just how transformational is this? Like, it feels very transformational. It feels crazy. But there are so many things that have come up in this last year that are just like, wow, that I don't know if I no longer have like a foot in reality, or if it really is like that. So I want to ask the tarot, and I want to ask my guides, just how transformational is this for the collective? Holy shit. Um, okay, so we have the world. Um, that is like a completely okay. So that is like a victory, right? With a completely new beginning. That's like full circle. That's like incredibly transformational. Yeah, Flex is also in agreement. Um, so entirely transformational. It's coming. Here's the Eight of Wands again, which I keep pulling like constantly. This is like the third time today I've pulled this card out. Um, so it's coming in quickly. You cannot, I get the feeling that we are not going to be able to escape it. And I don't think that we would even want to. So with the things that are ending here, it's like in our highest and best good. It's almost like we are winning the race by completing this cycle here. Um, and I'm getting the Five of Pentacles here. So normally this is kind of, I feel this card in a lot of different ways. This can be about like um, being left out of something, or flashing all of a sudden. Oh my god! But here I feel like this is going to be pushing this energy. This Eight of Wands energy is pushing us far out of our comfort zone. Okay, we're not going to be like inside um, in our comfort zone anymore. We're going to be pushed out here to be doing the work that we need to be doing, and it's the sort of transformational work that we need to be doing, and that's the new cycle that we're stepping into. So don't be afraid, go with the flow, surrender to the energy, but it's going to push you outside of your comfort zone. Shit is changing, and I feel like it is a very important um, transitional time, but it's a very happy, a very positive energy that I'm getting here, even though it's involving, even though it's involving certain endings and new beginnings, right? We're, I think that we're so accustomed to this at this point that we're no longer fearful of it. It's starting to feel like a victory. Okay. That's what I'm getting from this. So, do you guys, first of all, do you have any questions related to this reading or any other questions you want me to ask on the collective level? And then if there are no more of those, then I will start taking some other questions. Let's see. Okay. Any more questions first on the collective level, then I'll circle back to some of the personal questions. Let me just, I'm going to pull, I'm just going to pull a couple oracle cards for the collective real quick while I'm waiting for a few things to come in. Oracle card for the collective, please, for these collective energies. Oh my God. Okay. 44, integration, which is what we've been talking about all night, right? I combine my body, mind, and soul to lift all of humanity into a new dimension. That is the transformation we're going through. That's the energy right there. I love it. And look at the moon phases above. So I feel like that links directly into our full moon happening tomorrow. And we have the flower of life in this picture and this obvious like crown chakra connection. So remembering to connect into your divine guidance, like I've been saying. And I'm going to pull one more card. Okay, let's see. Yes, I love the 44, Jody. Pull one more card for the collective energies. This is interesting. It's a little different. It says, take a break. Life's work, not a season. Life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill is what it says. Get off the treadmill. So that may be a specific message for one of you. I feel like, again, this is the picture. Okay, so I'm going to relate it back to the Five of Pentacles that came out earlier, wherever it went. The picture, first of all, reminds me of it for some reason. I guess it's because the church imagery or like the temple type imagery. But also it's get off the treadmill, or it's like get out of your comfort zone. Stop the everyday humdrum crap. We're being pushed outside of our comfort zone right now. This does say take a break. I feel like we've been in a break period for a while, but if this is resonating with you, please do take a break. Irina, I will pull a card for you. I just want to get through this collective stuff first, so just hang on. If you do need to take a rest to integrate, that's what it is. So we're integrating all of this energy. Do rest in order to make sure that integration takes place. And that you are getting enough water and that kind of stuff too. That's what I always tell my clients after a healing session with me, because all that energy needs to integrate and it needs to push out the negative stuff. And honestly, it really needs time to settle, and it can be very difficult to get through it. So definitely rest and drink water during this time while that energy is integrating. Anna says, how do we block the negative energies of people around us? That is a very good question. I have my own advice, but I am also going to pull some. Let me just pull some tarot cards, just because why not? Okay. How should we be blocking the negative energies of the people around us? Or should we be blocking the negative energies of the people around us? Okay. Yep. All right. So we're getting the Prince of Swords with the Eight of Cups, right? So this is really just getting emotionally done with um, accepting that kind of vibration and making separations where you need to. There are going to be some people who need to leave your life at this point because they're no longer resonating. It's possible that there are people that you cannot necessarily remove from your life. Maybe they're, close family members, or like, they're just people who you're always going to have to be in touch with in some way. But you need to set the boundary there and be really honest about what that is, and remove yourself from the emotional situation. Um, the other thing is the combination of self-empowerment and self-love. So um, have enough love for yourself to empower yourself to make these decisions even when it's difficult, because these are difficult decisions to make. And so you're going to have to take yourself out of certain situations, remove yourself from certain people. You cannot necessarily change other people. They have to change themselves. So if they're not going to change themselves, then you need to make a choice whether you are going to simply um, not be around them, or more likely is it you have to um, empower yourself to decide that you are no longer going to let their bullshit bother you. Okay. So that's kind of on a mental and emotional level. On a spiritual level, what I will usually do is I will visualize like an egg of white light and then like rose quartz around me. And I will kind of take my consciousness all the way up to the divine. And I will ask that that the white light and the rose quartz become porous to allow only unconditional love to pass through. And any energies that are outside of unconditional love or do not serve me should be reflected back up to the divine and turned into unconditional love. So that sounds like a lot of words, but it works for me, and because it kind of deflects other people's shit, but it doesn't shoot it back at them where it creates negative karma for me. You don't want to create more negative karma for yourself by sending it back to them. So I always send it up to the divine and ask that it be converted into unconditional love. And the crazy thing that happens then is sometimes those people begin to change. Sometimes those people begin to experience the unconditional love for themselves, and they no longer create the kind of issues in your life. That doesn't always happen, but a lot of times it does. Boundaries, super important. These are both about boundaries and moving on from difficult situations. The only thing you can really control is how you receive their energy. And so you can choose not to receive it in the same way. Okay. I hope that's helpful. I also clear my energy every day. Of course, since I'm an energy healer, I have a certain way of doing that, but any person can do it. If you just want to take your consciousness up to the creator and just ask that your entire energy field be cleared with white light, and that any energies that do not serve you be taken up to the light and then transmuted into unconditional love. And then I usually tack on and used for the upliftment of humanity. So clear your energy daily, and that should definitely help. Yes, Jody, stating a declaration of sovereignty every day is amazing. You can actually find one. You can find them online if you just want to read something. There are some really long, complicated ones, and you can write your own. So that really helps preserve your energy and takes it back from other people. To me, this is sort of that energy of self-empowerment and declaring your sovereignty. So that is really, really, really effective. Good idea, Jody. Thank you. Jody, if you have the link for that and it will allow you to share in the chat, that would be amazing. I know sometimes it blocks links, but I'm sure people would appreciate that if you're able to. And if not, you can probably put it in a comment actually to this video so people can see it. Let's see. Arena had a question about her relationship. I can't understand what he's saying. Okay, so talking about twin flames, um, here's the important part. I can pull some cards to find out kind of what his energy is like, but you are going to experience the most success with your relationship when you pull your own energy back and you stop worrying about oh, okay, Jody, that's perfect. When you stop worrying about what he's doing and you redirect into you, because your energy by going toward and going into his energy is going to push him away. So that's why he's ghosting you. You know what I mean? You're too worried about what he's doing, and it actually creates an energetic push for him to go away. If you want to pull it toward you, then you need to bring back your own energy and focus on yourself. And I know we're all sick of hearing that, but it really is about, this whole thing is about healing yourself and becoming empowered within yourself, and allowing the balance to take place within yourself, because that powerfully magnetizes, or your complement to you, or your twin, or however you want to talk about them. I hope that makes sense to you, Arena. I will pull a couple of cards just to sort of give you some peace of mind, but after that I would like to see you focus in on yourself and healing the part of yourself that feels it needs to know, if that makes sense, because it's that needing to know that we truly need to heal, because what we need to do is surrender all of that to the divine, and know that, again, this sounds like a cop out, but it really isn't, because I've seen it at work, and know that what is truly meant to be is going to be, if that makes sense. Oh, good, Arena. I hope that that helps. Let me pull a quick card for you, though. Woo. Okay. Wow. So whatever's going on here, there is someone leaving a difficult situation. There so many cards came out. I'm gonna have to go through them fairly quickly, but I feel like he may be leaving a difficult situation, whatever that might be. If it's a another relationship, um, but there is movement toward whoever. Um, there is movement toward you, and this is a card that comes out a lot for these kinds of relationships, because they're usually there usually have been past life connections. There may be connections from childhood, and or there's just a very deep soul connection here, that's rooted in unconditional love, right? So there's a powerful drive toward that, and a desire for the to to bring this together as a wish fulfillment. There is a time right now of balancing, and that's what I'm talking about allowing this healing to take place, because that's going to bring you into balance between your masculine and your feminine. And in that time, there is a period of you needing to spend the time with yourself and on yourself, to becoming fully balanced within yourself as an individual. This is a card of a single person, or somebody who has worked and achieved a certain level of success on themselves, right? Combined with the temperance card here, which to me is all about alchemy and balance. So I feel like, when you do this, when you take the time to make sure you're balancing yourself, this is like exactly the stuff you want to see from a divine complement. You want to see them moving toward you, toward your relationship and your unconditional love, in a very determined and passionate way, toward the fulfillment of wishes. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope that that helps. Flex says, me and my twin flame are in a pretty tough spot right now. Can you pull a card on if we have a real chance at it being in 3D union again? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to start with a new deck because I just got cards going everywhere. All right. So chance at 3D union for Flex. You're welcome, Arena. Whew. All right. Flex, I feel that there is. I feel that there is still some time. That there, there's healing that needs to be done. There's growth that needs to happen. But with the King of Pentacles, for me, that's like the culmination, the the most stable thing you can get in the physical world. So to me, that would indicate that there is a real chance at it. But more patience is required. I know it makes me choke to even say that for you because that's so frustrating. Um, let me just ask for advice for you then. Like, what needs to be done then? Advice for Flex. What needs to be done in order to bring that together? Okay. So I've got the Two of Pentacles here, and what just came up with that is really making a very profound choice that you want this to happen. I feel like you might have, but there's still this like feeling of back and forth. So if that resonates with you at all, if there's any way in which you may have been back and forth about this, it's time to really profoundly claim this person, like as your divine complement. And I'm hearing just to focus on yourself, but also to focus on that as being a reality as opposed to wondering if that makes sense. I feel like you're manifesting this back and forth energy potentially because you're still in that place of, is it happening? Yes, fully aligned with the outcome you want. That's exactly what I'm saying. So that's where that I think is the advice where you can start to reel in some of this frustrating Seven of Pentacles, waiting and patience energy. Okay. Let's see. Additional guidance for Jody. Okay. You're welcome, Flex. Highlight prevails. Thanks for stopping in, Anna. I will do you next. Let's see. Additional guidance for Jody on her twin flame connection. There's one card. Additional guidance for Jody on her connection. Okay. The first card that popped out, Jody, was the Moon. And it came out with the Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. And so this is a little unusual for this card, but what actually I felt when it came out was I wanted to go deep within myself into my own energy. And I wanted to ask you if you are, so the place where I want you to contact him is inside you. If that sounds weird. I don't know if that makes sense for you. Oh, thank you so much, Irina. I appreciate that. Um, it's like everything you need to know and all the feelings that you want confirmation of or want to know about are able to be felt within you. Um, it's like it is that his energy is also inside you. And so you should be able to go in there and make contact with it and know and just be in the knowing. Okay. This is kind of like using that intuitive sense, but in a very physical way because um, is kind of hiding in there. I don't know if that's, let me know if that's resonating with you, but that is the feeling that I got as soon as this popped out. Um, it's a, I think it is doing that is kind of oh, okay, excellent. Doing that is kind of a another step in the process of developing your own set of skills, higher spiritual set of skills. And I think they really want you to exercise your intuitive knowing even more than you are at this time. That they're okay. So what they're saying to me is you're actually there are a lot of signals that you're getting within your physical body that you may be missing, just because you're just sort of, you're already sensitive to some of them, but there's like another degree of sensitivity that you can develop and you're capable of, and so they want you to notice that and to uh, actually your compliment is a huge part in helping you to learn that, and I feel like in working on that, you're going to be bringing yourself closer to that eventuality. Um, and so part of this whole process is you becoming even more aware of those energies that are moving within your physical body, that they're hidden in there. They're not as hidden as they might seem. Like you're getting the cues, you just might not be noticing all of them. You're noticing some of them, certainly. Does that make sense for you? So then we have the Queen of Wands, and that to me is like this is showing a degree of energetic mastery. Um, and and again, this is part of your path to uniting with this other half of yourself, basically your own energy in another person, right? So so this is a really powerful I feel like this is a really powerful picture into your particular path or your particular situation. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, what's next here? Okay. Anna wants to know what the new year brings for her. So what's the new year got coming for Anna? What is the new year bringing for Anna? Okay. Here's some relationship energy here, and there's some very um a swift movement in that relationship. So whatever that might mean to you, I feel like I remember that you have a committed relationship at this time, and so there might be some really big developments with that, or that it might move forward in a certain way. That goes quickly. This is like now the fourth time that the eight of Wands has come out, and so this kind of universal ascension energy could be affecting you both, and maybe he is also going through the same kind of um, development that you are going through at this time. I feel like there is there is a way in which the two of you are healing a so there's I feel like you're healing some past heartbreak through the relationship that you have right now. You're bringing that into balance, and you're experiencing your happily ever after in a brand new balanced way. Um, Moving away from whatever this was in the past, this kind of, I'm feeling like this could be, um, this could be a past relationship. This could actually also just be a family history. So this is really healing that at this time. And it could be that, again, this solstice energy, which I keep seeing as this Eight of Wands, is coming in and helping to change that through your relationship. Or this does not have to be a relationship. This can be other people or other things that are have the same goals, passions, feelings, whatever that you have. And so, this could be about um, building this happily ever after through finding a matching cup. So, again, it could very easily be a relationship, but it could be a new group of people or some way, some place you find your niche. This is like finding your niche in whatever way that is. Okay. So in the end, I feel like this is very positive. Like you're going to find your niche in a way that you haven't in the past after releasing this heartbreak, which I feel like does start in the family, does start in your early history, and may have continued to show its head in past relationships. Okay. Let me know if that resonates. Um, Hi, spiritual ish. Yes, I will pull a card for you and your twin. So, spiritual ish. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands with strength, the strength card. Um, I am feeling like, let's see. Let's see. I'm feeling like this is about, okay, this person is really struggling with their ego right now, is kind of what I'm getting. Like they're struggling with the things that they thought they knew about the world. Um, I feel like they're fighting the way they think society should go, or the way they think their relationships should go, or something, some kind of like social norms. They're fighting within themselves. And this is a personal battle of surrounding their ego and their own stubbornness right now is kind of what I'm getting. And I feel like my general intuition is that that will eventually be overcome. Hey, Di. Oh, I didn't. Yes, Charlotte. Charlotte's up here somewhere. I just realized I missed her. Um, oh, okay, that makes sense, spiritualish. So I feel like that will eventually be overcome, but I do feel like that person is in strong resistance right now because of their own battles with. I'm hearing expectations as well, either other people's expectations or their own. Okay. Um, so the way in which I feel to overcome this is to look within yourself in any kind of ways where you are struggling against the connection or this person or with anything with your ego within yourself. Once you are able to work that out in yourself with your own demons, so to speak, um, It will assist in supporting them to be able to work their own out, okay? Let's see. Okay, so Charlotte wants a card that you're welcome, spiritualish. Di, can you confirm this card is for Charlotte? Gosh, I feel so bad I missed that. Where'd it go? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for Charlotte because I assume. Okay. Okay, I'll get you one too, Di. This is a card for Charlotte. There it went. Okay. I'm going to pull a second one. Second card for Charlotte. Clarifier for Charlotte. Okay. Charlotte, if you are still on, I'm not sure if you are, but it looks like you're going through a big transitional process. The first card that came out, was the Devil. And to me, that's really that's whatever's holding you back. But with the Death card coming out with the Devil, I feel like you're in the process of breaking those chains. However, it has been an extremely I want to say arduous process, because I feel like so many beliefs, so many things that have been constants in your life, how even though they are not particularly healthy for you, they're falling away. And so that has been very difficult, I think, in your situation. So I'm feeling a lot of change around you, but I'm also feeling a lot of healing around you. So that's really important. If you are in this energy, this is the energy you want coming in with it, because that means you're breaking those chains, okay? I hope this is helpful, or maybe you'll come back and see the recording if you're not on. And I'm so sorry I didn't see you earlier. Di, let's get some cards for Di. Di is a tremendous poet. Everybody go buy her book. Oops, there we go. Get one more. Let's see. Wow. Let's see. All right. I'm hearing that you're stepping into a new opportunity with a little bit of trepidation. Um, it's going to be a new beginning, which is actually kind of positive. I feel that it will be nostalgic for you in some way. This is the card of nostalgia right here with the Six of Cups. Um, it's going to allow you to communicate with a part, I was going to say a part of yourself that has been quiet for a while. Um, whatever this whatever this opportunity is that you're moving into with a little bit of trepidation and slowness. So I'm not sure if that resonates with you, but I feel like this is a good thing, and that it's going to open up um, communication with either an inner child, or it could even be people from your past. It could absolutely be people from your past. But I feel like the communication comes in, um, and that it's a doorway to something very positive, okay? And that even if you do kind of take your time easing into it, I don't want you to be afraid of it. I do want to let you know that it is a good opportunity, and that there is a lot of potential there. You know, I have to say that the first ping I got was potentially a relationship. So that was the first ping I got. I did then take it to professional, but that's kind of because I know you, and so sometimes my own brain will get in the way. So just kind of keep that open, keep it open, keep it open. It could be any of those things. But if there's an opportunity that comes up that you are sort of struggling to dip your toe into, um, okay, you know what I mean. Okay, good. It could be a good thing though. I want to hear about this later. Whatever it is, I need to know what it is. Let's see. Light prevails. Can I get a card for clarity on my purpose and mission? And if the relationship I am in is serving that mission. Okay. Let's, oops. Okay. Light prevails needs a card for clarity on purpose and mission. Purpose and mission for light prevails. Woo! Holy crap. All right, the first card that came out was the Ace of Wands, and so I feel like that's a very good card for purpose and mission. I feel like this is like a yes card. So I feel like whatever it is that you are doing or you feel drawn to is the right thing. This is just one of those cards that when it comes up, people are like, yes, this means yes. Also that came out with it are the Nine of Wands, the Lovers, and the Five of Wands. I I'm going to get some clarity on this, but my first impression is that this relationship may be actually bringing some struggle to you completing or to you moving forward in this mission. My opinion is struggle is not always a bad thing. Sometimes that's, how we learn what we need to learn. So let me get a little more clarity here for you. Is this relationship serving the mission? Okay. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups with the Queen of Cups with the Seven of Swords. And so my feeling is that I know, this is very triggery. You know, I have to say that even though these look like cards that would say, no, this relationship is not serving the mission, I almost feel like this is pointing toward the parts of yourself that are blocking either the relationship and or the mission. And so I feel like it's in digging up the grief or the shame or the guilt, whatever it is that you're holding on to that qualifies as shame or guilt or even grief, one of those things. It's almost like you need to show that in the light of day and exercise the compassion for yourself, um, to really clear that shame or guilt. Because until you do that, you're either going to attract a version of this person who is reflecting that shame and guilt, or you're going to attract people who are going to reflect that shame and guilt. So whether or not this person is like the right person is almost like a non-issue because you're going to keep pulling that you're resonating with that version of this person or with people who are also resonating with that right now until you heal that. And that's going to come through self-love and compassion for yourself. However it is that you're beating yourself up, um, and that could really be what this five of wands is. You could be beating the crap out of yourself. And you know, you're blocking your own relationship in that way. And so that's really the key there is self-love and clearing that shame and guilt. And you know, of course, that's easier said than done, but it really isn't as hard as it sounds. um you can obviously, you know, you may have a way of doing that. Plenty of energy healers like myself or other people can help you through that. But I feel like that is the core of what's going on with you right now. Okay. All right, guys. It is has been almost an hour and a half. So I am going to sign off for tonight, and I really appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this, I do have a website where you can schedule your own personal reading for either half hour, hour, or 2 hours, and also the energy healing. You can do a combination of reading and energy healing, or whatever. A number of my clients are in the chat tonight, so they know how it goes down. But my website is iamemilygear.com. So that's my new website, iamemilygear.com. You can also reach it by my old website, which was redhoundreiki.com. I still have both of those domains. And I really, really appreciate all of you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. And please share and encourage other people to subscribe and watch my videos and make appointments with me as well. Okay. Thanks, guys, and I hope you have an awesome night. Don't forget to do a gratitude ritual like I talked about in the beginning. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.